In the far north of Alaska, there's a road unlike any other in America. A road that stretches over 400 miles through some of the most isolated wilderness on Earth. No cities, no hospitals, no quick escape, just endless land and unpredictable danger. This is the Dalton Highway, built in the 1970s to support the Trans-Alaska Pipeline. What makes this road different is not just its length, it's the conditions. Drivers here face extreme cold, limited visibility, and almost no services for hundreds of miles. In many parts, if something goes wrong, help may be hours away or may never come. This isn't just a road, it's a test of survival. And today, we're going to explore why this is considered one of the most dangerous roads in America. The Dalton Highway runs from Living Good to Dead Horse, cutting through forests, mountains, and Arctic tundra. But what truly makes it terrifying is how empty it is. There are only a few small settlements along the entire route. In fact, for long stretches, over 200 miles, there are no gas stations, no restaurants, no hotels, nothing at all. Imagine driving for hours and seeing no one. No lights, no signs of life, just silence. And if your car breaks down here, you're completely on your own. No phone signal, no quick rescue, just you and the wilderness. This level of isolation turns even a small problem into a life-threatening situation. Despite being called a highway, much of the Dalton is not paved. Large sections are made of gravel, dirt, and mud. This means the road constantly changes, sometimes within minutes. In dry weather, thick dust clouds can reduce visibility. In rain, the surface turns into slippery mud. And in winter, ice covers everything. Drivers must deal with potholes, loose rocks, and uneven surfaces that can damage vehicles instantly. Even experienced truck drivers struggle here. One wrong turn, one moment of lost control, and your vehicle could slide off the road. This is not a place for mistakes. Every mile demands full attention. Weather on the Dalton Highway is not just harsh, it's unpredictable. Temperatures can drop below minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit in winter. Snowstorms can appear suddenly, turning clear skies into complete whiteouts. In these moments, drivers can't even see the road in front of them. Wind speeds increase, ice forms instantly, and visibility drops to zero. Even in summer, snow is still possible in higher elevations. Nature doesn't follow rules here, and that's what makes this road so dangerous. You're not just driving, you're constantly fighting the environment. The Dalton Highway was never built for everyday travelers. It was designed for truckers delivering supplies to remote oil fields. These drivers face the road's dangers every day. Long hours, extreme conditions, constant risk. Their trucks carry heavy loads across narrow, unstable roads, often with no guardrails. And yet they keep going because this road is essential. It connects the oil fields of northern Alaska to the rest of the country. Without it, supplies wouldn't reach these remote regions. But every trip comes with risk. For these drivers, this isn't just a job, it's survival. Running alongside much of the Dalton Highway is one of the most important energy lifelines in the United States, the Trans-Alaska Pipeline. Stretching over 800 miles, this pipeline carries crude oil from the North Slope to southern ports. The highway exists largely because of it. When construction began in the 1970s, workers needed a route to transport equipment and supplies into some of the most remote terrain in North America. That temporary access road eventually became the Dalton Highway. Even today, much of the traffic here is directly connected to maintaining this pipeline. But the presence of the pipeline also adds pressure. This road must stay open, no matter how dangerous conditions become. Storms, ice, and extreme cold cannot stop operations. And that means drivers are often forced to travel even when it's not safe. On the Dalton Highway, necessity overrides comfort, and sometimes it even overrides safety. One of the most dangerous aspects of the Dalton Highway isn't what you see, it's what you don't. There are long stretches of this road where there are absolutely no services, no gas stations, no repair shops, no medical facilities. Drivers must plan every detail before starting the journey. Fuel, food, water, spare tires. Everything must be carried in advance. Because once you're out there, there is no turning back easily. Running out of fuel isn't just an inconvenience. It can become a life-threatening emergency. In freezing temperatures, a stranded vehicle quickly becomes a trap. Without heat, survival time drops dramatically. This level of isolation forces drivers to think differently. Every mile must be calculated. Every decision matters. On this road, preparation isn't optional, it's survival. One of the most silent killers on the Dalton Highway is something you can't even see black ice. Unlike regular ice, black ice forms as a thin, transparent layer on the road surface, making it nearly invisible to drivers. It often looks like normal asphalt until it's too late. When vehicles hit black ice, they can instantly lose traction. Steering becomes useless. Braking can make things worse. And within seconds, a controlled drive turns into a dangerous slide. Even experienced drivers struggle with it. And on a road with no guardrails, one mistake can send a vehicle off the edge. Black ice doesn't announce itself. It doesn't give warnings. It simply waits for the moment a driver becomes overconfident. On the Dalton Highway, danger doesn't always look dangerous. On the Dalton Highway, trucks rule the road. Massive oil transport vehicles move constantly, carrying heavy loads across this unforgiving terrain. For smaller vehicles, this creates an entirely new layer of danger. When a truck approaches, drivers must slow down and give space. The weight and momentum of these vehicles mean they can't stop quickly. And when they pass, they often kick up thick clouds of dust, snow, or gravel. Visibility can drop to zero in seconds. Wind pressure from passing trucks can even push smaller cars off course. This isn't a typical highway where traffic flows smoothly. Here, every encounter with another vehicle must be handled carefully, because on this road, size matters. And the bigger the vehicle, the greater the risk. In summer, the Dalton Highway transforms into something entirely different, but no less dangerous. Instead of ice, drivers face dust and mud. Dry conditions create massive dust clouds that reduce visibility to almost nothing. It's like driving through smoke, except it's made of dirt and debris. And when rain hits, the road turns into thick, slippery mud. Traction disappears. Vehículos salida unpredictable. Even braking becomes risky. This constant change in road conditions makes the Dalton unpredictable. A section that was safe minutes ago can suddenly become dangerous. Drivers must constantly adapt, because on this road, conditions never stay the same for long. Temperatures on the Dalton Highway can drop to extreme levels, especially in winter. It's not uncommon for conditions to reach minus 40 degrees or lower. At this level of cold, everything changes. Engines struggle to start. Metal becomes brittle, and even brief exposure can be dangerous to human life. Frostbite can occur in minutes. If a vehicle breaks down, survival becomes a race against time. Staying warm is critical, but without proper preparation, that becomes nearly impossible. The cold here isn't just uncomfortable, it's deadly, and it doesn't forgive mistakes. In most places, a phone call can save your life, but not here. Along much of the Dalton Highway, there is no signal, no calls, no internet, no quick way to reach help. Drivers are completely cut off from the outside world. If something goes wrong, you can't just dial for assistance. You must rely on your own preparation or the rare chance that another vehicle passes by. This lack of communication turns small problems into serious threats, because out here, you're truly alone.